continue following that breaking news. Reaction pouring in after the death of O.J. Simpson. The former NFL superstar, acquitted of a double murder in 1995, has died at the age of 76 from complications related to prostate cancer. I'd like to welcome in now Lester Ricard Jr., former NFL quarterback and sports analyst. Lester, thank you so much for your time. First of all, as I was discussing with Sam just a few moments ago, I don't think a lot of people realized he was so sick. What was your reaction to learning of his death?
I was shocked, just like all of America. You know, to know that OJ, look what OJ has gone through and what he's overcome and what he's beat into. You know, I didn't even know he had prostate cancer, so I was shocked. I was just sitting at my desk at work, and one of my administrative secretary says, Lester, can you believe OJ just died? And so I was shocked, just like America. I had so many different thoughts and ideas that went through my mind, just like everyone else. I can remember that polarizing case back in when I was a sixth grader in middle school. And I can remember exactly where I was at when the verdict came through. And so we had all these different ideas that went through my mind. I remember my father growing up before the murder case, telling me how OJ was this American hero, as an inspiring person who wanted to play in the National Football League, that he's someone that you want to look up to because of not just what he did on the field, but what he stood for off the field in terms of the media savviness and watching him on NBC do every Notre Dame game. So, you know, it takes you back to all these different things. And it's unfortunate, but I mean, some people might be rejoicing today, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the fact. It's just the whole situation is sad.
Yeah, he really does leave behind such a complicated legacy, Lester, as you alluded to there, because we know he was acquitted of the murders in 1995. But there are so many Americans who at the time thought he was guilty, who, as the years have passed, maybe they didn't think he was guilty then. Yeah. But, you know, as we know more about DNA and forensics, you know, I know opinions may have changed. But let's go, you know, back before all of that. Just talk about, you know, his impact on the sport of football. Because, you know, like your dad was saying, I mean, he was this, you know, larger than life figure.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, you know, you can talk about the 11,000 yards he had rushing the National Football League. You can go back and look at what he did at USC and winning the Heisman Trophy. I mean, he was unbelievable. You know, before O.J. Simpson, that was Jim Brown. He kind of followed the same path as Jim Brown. He was a media darling. He was a superstar on and off the field. But it seemed like O.J. took it to the next level. Like we thought that Jim Brown was special, but then O.J. with his speed, with his elusiveness, and then he had to look, right? OJ had the chiseled jawline. He was a handsome guy, had the very tight fro. He always seemed to say the right thing to the media, always had that nice Kool-Aid smile. And then you watch him, you know, everybody remembers, even though I wasn't born yet, the Hertz commercial with him running through the airport. Just, he had all of those different things. And so he was unbelievable. And obviously this case put and tarnish his legacy. But if you look at it from just a pure football standpoint, OJ's probably the greatest running back of all time. You can argue that with him, Jim Brown, and Barry Sanders. And I don't think there's many other people who are in that argument.
You know, and just talk about, you know, him being an athlete and then a pitchman, and not to say that there were not athletes who had not done it before, but the fact that, you know, you're referencing a Hertz commercial that aired before you were even born. So he truly, I mean, we see athletes obviously in commercials all the time now. You know, it's very commonplace. But I mean, he really, you know, in many ways changed the game when it comes to athletes and pitching products.
Yeah, I mean, you look at from an athlete standpoint, the two most polarizing athletes that we could say that were just media darlings. You have to put O.J. Simpson and Michael Jordan. Those two set the standard in terms of just having that marketability, the look, the smile, the charisma. When you saw him on TV, you felt like you were a part of their lifestyle. And so he's truly one of the greatest, most polarizing athletes of all time. But on top of that, his football standards were just unbelievable. When he would touch the football, he was a threat to score every time, whether it was in college or whether the National Football League. So
thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.